The Institute of Practical Psychophysics has introduced new version of METATRON system with Red Dragon software adapted for Eastern Asia markets. While having all principal functions of Metapathia are clinical software, Red Dragon includes some additional features. In addition to Russian, English and German languages, the new software supports Chinese and Japanese languages. The first decade of the new century is marked by considerable extension of NLS technology's diagnostic features. First of all, by means of new technologies introduction and application of modern computing equipment. Such concepts as NLS ultramicroscopy, nonlinear spectral and entropic analysis, high-frequency NLS therapy has become customary in clinics. Together with development of inexpensive portable digital NLS systems, scope of their application will be extended also. Improvement of communications mean capabilities will allow to transmit live pictures to medical consulting centers from any place on Earth. Pragmatic market of 3D visualizing diagnostic technologies is formed by means of harmless non-ionizing methods, allowing to fulfill multiple dynamic researches. At least, NLS technologies undoubtedly will come to the fore. Nonlinear diagnostics, based on new physics of quantum entropic interactions, allows to acquire maximum information about gravity, maturity, and intensity of functional changes in human organism during medical checkup. In majority of cases, application of this technology has a principal meaning for diagnosing and therefore for choosing a proper treatment course. Thereby, developing of this method has become a great improvement in diagnostic medicine. Using the principle of NLS diagnostics and taking as the basis researches of academic Sviatoslav Pavlovich Nesterov, who invented underlying trigger sensor, at the beginning of the 90s of the last century, the Institute of Practical Psychophysics started to design NLS diagnostic systems. According to European Union experts, diagnostic equipment manufactured by the IPP holds 20% of the world's market of medical nonlinear technologies nowadays. Development of NLS technologies cannot be separated from main problems of medicine, reasons of disease development, the early diagnostics, and objectivization of treatment efficiency. Despite decreasing of cardiovascular diseases mortality rate, according to world statistics, the situation around epidemic number 1 still remains unfavorable. Constant growing of oncological and hereditary pathologies is registered. In modern world, protective, less invasive, bloodless surgery goes together with therapy which becomes more and more aggressive. And if we take into account that our civilization is technogenous, it's quite possible that humanity will face new and unknown diseases in future. With this background, development of diagnostic methods goes on, and NLS researches is one of the most significant among them. To achieve significant progress in quality of NLS pictures, considerable increase of amount and accuracy of contained information is required. So the main objective of modern technologies development is increasing of amount and accuracy of diagnostic information in NLS picture. Nowadays, new approaches to acquiring and analysis of information can be divided into those related to visualization in 3-dimension mode, and those related to increasing of devices generation frequency, which is directly associated with increasing of resolution during research of human tissues ultrafine structures. In identification of NLS systems operating characteristics, high-frequency generators have principal meaning. Major part of the most significant achievements in picture quality improvement and in growing of our clinical possibilities are related to innovations in development of nonlinear generators. Working frequency ranges of modern generators are within 1.4–4.9 GHz, which allow us to research almost all internal organs, anatomical masses, and tissues with up to 30 micron resolution. But non-invasive visualization of ultrafine structure of tissue at separate cell organelles and DNA fragments may be hampered. That is why technology of high-frequency nonlinear generators manufacturing has changed greatly. At the present time, together with American company Clinic Tech Incorporated, super high-frequency nonlinear generators with operating frequency of 40 to 100 GHz are developed and clinically tested, allowed to reach resolution of 100 angstrom. These technologies, which are not yet widely applied, are already called NLS ultra-microscanning. Most probably, in near future, thanks to development of this area, we will be able to look at epithelial and endothelial tissues at subcell level more closely, and to research and correct clusters of reborn cells. Together with International Academy of Nonlinear Diagnostic Systems, headed by academician Vladimir Nesterov, we created analog-free research equipment allowing to monitor condition of biological object by changes in field generated by organisms' tissues, separate cells, chromosomes, DNA, and to treat a living cell with high-frequency fields. The main problem of treating a cell's ultrastructure and DNA helix is to find an extremely precise instrument, which, similar to laser, could influence DNA structure with diameter less than 2 nanometers. Creation of such unique instrument has become possible only after super high-frequency nonlinear generators were developed. These generators have frequency of few dozens of gigahertz and additional feature of wide pulse signal modulation to generate field oscillations with parameters peculiar to living cell in order to restore its regulatory mechanisms. Another promising area of NLS technology development is the creation of nonlinear telemedicine monitoring system. A remarkable opportunity of this method lies in enhancing the sensitivity of diagnostics and expanding the system's functionality by means of technologically remote diagnostics in asynchronous mode of dialogue between a doctor and a patient, when they can communicate with each other interactively regardless of the distance between them. The system offered by the Institute of Practical Psychophysics provides an opportunity to ensure an audio-visual contact between a patient and a doctor during nonlinear diagnostics, when doctor is at a great distance from a patient. The equipment can be applied in clinics, diagnostic centers, and scientific research institutes to carry out these diagnostics of patients using mobile terminals, in field conditions, in the mountains, and at sea. The body of the obtained data is sent through a specialized server to a medical advisory center with the observance of data safety requirements. Another technical achievement which opens up new prospects and features in NLS diagnostics is three-dimensional picture. Originally, 3D appeared in computer tomography because processing powers allowed to summarize parallel crosscuts into one multidimensional unit. A few years ago, 3D was considered as hardly applicable long-term aestheticism of professionals in NLS diagnostics. In the present time, it is an integral part of not only scientific studies, but practical diagnostics also. There is a growing number of such terms as surgery under control of three-dimensional NLS visualization or 3D virtual NLS graphy. Preparation of NLS pictures for visual analysis is carried out by means of 4D tissue original technology developed by the Institute. It allows not only getting of virtual multidimensional pictures of anatomic and histological structures, but also to mark with color interesting biological tissue, so-called additional dimension, and also visualize bones, soft tissues, and vessels simultaneously or in any desired succession. Great future of such programs is unquestionable, because these technical achievements facilitate therapists' job and allow to represent clearly anatomic structures and pathological changes in a research organism. It seems that creation of ultra-high-speed intellectual NLS scanner is one of the most important features of new 3D generation. More and more clinical therapists realize necessity to master NLS diagnostic equipment, because need in properly educated experts in this field is obvious. But among traditional medicine specialists, there is a tendency to pay more attention to researches with computed X-ray imaging and magnetic resonance imaging. That is why NLS technologies, unfortunately, are still hidden among more orthodox methods of diagnostics. Clinicians are ready to improve their diagnostic possibilities by using of NLS technology, quite often without X-ray, MRI, and radionuclide methods. Nevertheless, only in strategic partnership of NLS diagnostic experts, radiologists, and clinicians may be found the key to optimal diagnostic and healing application of this, in all senses, original and efficient medical technology. The Institute of Practical Psychophysics is the only company in the world that deals with design, development, manufacturing, sales, and servicing of hardware-software systems for nonlinear diagnostics METATRON. NLS diagnostics is a non-invasive, quick, and highly informative method of organism investigation that allows to get qualitative evaluation of functional condition of an organism, control effectiveness and results of different treatment methods, evaluate adaptive abilities of an organism, analyze dynamics of organism functional state changes during treatment, locate primary nidus of functional breach, evaluate character of a pathology using expert systems, and to evaluate general parameters of homeostasis. For the first time, the new software displays 14 Chinese meridians. Altogether, there are 12 pairs of main organ channels corresponding to 12 main organs of traditional Chinese medicine and 2 non-pair meridians of human body. All main channels are linked into one system. One transforms into another in strict succession with chi flow. This life energy is distributed to the whole organism through the channels and unites all functional blocks of an organism. Jinglu is a teaching of 14 meridians. It is one of the main teachings of traditional Chinese medicine. Jinglu explains physiological functions and pathological changes of human organism, and it is used for diagnostics and treatment. It is also a basis for acupuncture. It is considered that function of a meridian is to ensure flow of qi, support functional activity of organs, and harmonize yin and yang in an organism. In case of pathology, changing of one organ's function inevitably changes functioning of other organs. It means that the whole organism becomes involved into an unhealthy process. Red Dragon software has a feature of three-dimensional reconstruction of pictures on basis of data read with multidimensional research, a study of hollow organs according to principles of virtual anisotropy with the use of lab system, ultra-high performance processor system. Preparation of pictures for visual analysis is fulfilled with help of 4D tissue original method invented by the institute that allows not only getting of virtual multidimensional pictures of anatomic structures, but also choosing of interesting biological tissue, additional dimension, and visualizing of bones, soft tissues, and vessels simultaneously. New section, Traditional Chinese Medicine Preparations, containing more than 600 etalons, was added to Red Dragon software. Chinese medicine is a technology for health resumption which contributes greatly in the development of world's medicine. The main distinctive feature of these traditional preparations, which are used and perfected for 1,000 years, is that they are made of natural components only. From the point of view of physiology, traditional Chinese medicine preparations are more natural and thus safer and more helpful for human health than chemically synthesized drugs of the Western medicine. Etalon database of Red Dragon software is extended by food products and dishes of traditional Chinese medicine, which are recommended for clinical nutrition. Lithotherapy. The new software contains spectrums of minerals and jewels. It allows to select a jewel for a person strictly individually in compliance with biological compatibility and carry out lithotherapy, treatment of an organism with a spectrum of a mineral. Special molecular composition of crystal structure provides energy impact to cellular and biomolecular systems of an organism. Some jewels may enter into specific harmonic resonance with certain parts of our organism. Vibrational energy is transferred to a certain molecular system, and it harmonizes yin and yang, stabilizes biochemical processes, improves level of cellular structure, restores unhealthy organ, and increases tendency for recovery.